story, Raw fans. Tonight's topics include
Sasha's first match back,
No.1 contender for Raw Tag Team Championships chosen,
and Braun versus AJ for the U.S. title.
All that and more coming up. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Wrestle Story. We discuss all things wrestling, the legends of the past, the superstars of the present, and the trailblazers of the future. We stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT, and after every pay-per-view. Matt, I agree. Raw was not great. How you doing, Shane?
I didn't think it was, horrible. Gleen, you sick, bro? No.
I've got a cold in my eyes, and so, I actually fell asleep during Raw, and, my eyes
See,
were,
that's how bad it was. He fell asleep
my
during
eyes, when I woke up, my eyes were matted shut. So,
oh, that's funny.
my eyes are sick. I'm not physically sick.
Yeah, if he was physically sick, I wouldn't be sitting here. Just remember that. Good, and Raw was good, man. I didn't think it was horrible. I didn't think it was a terrible show. I know a lot of people did think it was pretty not great. But the crowd sucked. I will say that. The crowd did suck. This was not a great crowd at all.
I think one of the issues was just some of the things they didn't make a whole lot of sense.
Sasha's promo sucked.
I mean, I don't want
to say it's, flat out sucked. But, it wasn't great. I just was it was a promo. It wasn't horrible.
Is there anything outside the King of the Ring and Cesaro vs. Cedric that is worth watching? I don't know. I thought the Ricochet Drew match was okay.
Yeah.
I
didn't even care about those matches. Okay, guys, we gotta just Styles versus Braun. I did think it was good up until what they did with it at the end. I thought that pretty much sucked, but the match itself, I thought was decent.
I didn't like the way she opened the show.
She was low energy. I
definitely
agree. It's almost sort of Nattie's problem.
Styles versus Braun was pretty interesting. I actually fell asleep. I slept through. I missed the tag team Turmoil match.
You didn't miss much there.
I missed the Sasha match, and I missed the Cedric and Cesaro match. But then I saw the beginning and I saw the end. Yeah.
So you missed everything in between.
Yeah.
The majority of what felt like it took forever was the tag team turmoil match, which then the outcome of it was oh so excellent, We'll start at the beginning of the show. Sasha comes out and she cuts a promo talking about, how where she's been the last 4 months. She said, after WrestleMania, there's talk that I had a fit backstage. I did. But something blah, 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 blah. I did.
Was the Ascension not available tonight?
Is the Ascension still employed by WWE? Because I feel like one or the other of them did something stupid and then, they were let go.
They exist. That's a good question. Well, actually, Sasha came out to crickets.
Yeah. So Sasha is going on and on and on, and she talks about how it should have been. She should have been in the main event. She was in a match with the tag titles, which she didn't care about at all. She could care less about the tag match that she was in at WrestleMania, and that's why she was angry. They had to explain. Oh boy. And so that was all that was. And then she started talking about, Becky Lynch, it should have been me, blah, 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 blah. She's turning into Dolph Ziggler is what she is. Blah, 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 blah. It's just...
No, there's a lot of stuff that I don't think Vince cares about.
And then Nattie comes out and beats her up, and it's the same old song and dance for Nattie. where she gets beat up and is left there.
Yeah. I agree 100% for Vince.
It was just a
terrible promo. I don't think she's had cut a good promo since she's been back.
And she was last time she was supposed to cut a promo. She said, "Oh, my hair's blue. It was excellent." And she was like,
"Yeah, I think
you're welcome." And I thought that was excellent. She didn't have to say much, and I thought that was good. And then this is the first promo that she cuts live on television. And it was just since being back, it was just
yeah, it was a minute start. I agree.
It could have been better. It should have been better.
Well, it should have been better, but I think...
And like I said, part of the problem, I think, is she has that, Nattie problem where, she almost sounds so monotone, there's no feeling behind any of it, and it's what are we supposed to think? Are you angry? Are you happy? Are you mad?
How many beatings can Nattie take?
I also want to talk about Nattie, but you get your thoughts out first.
To be fair, the crowd didn't care about Sasha last week either. I agree. I think one of the big issues you have, though, is
right now, she's not fighting Becky.
Well, then... the women's division in general, outside of everybody. I don't think that the women's division is even focused on. Nobody cares about it. And so when nobody cares about it, you have an issue.
Can Nattie just go away from TV now? I'd like to ask the same question, because at this point, she honestly... it's the same thing from Nattie at this point. She's putting up the same tweets about, oh, this person betrayed me, blah, 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 I'm gonna go kick her butt. It's the same thing that she did for Becky. And, if that's where we're gonna continue to put her, it's only gonna get old. You know? So it's it's just not, I don't know, just take her off TV. For now. Because if this is all you're going to have her do is get beat up by people and cut the same promo, just have it be on a different person, I don't have a use for that. And none of the rest of you do either. So, it's why? I just don't get that. I don't know.
She's been gone too long, I think. And people are probably tired of these people that, sit out and pout about because they didn't get their way. And they're tired of, dealing with the, okay, if I'm not going to, if I don't get my shot, then I'm going to go pout and won't even, perform.
I also think people really just don't care right now just because it is Sasha and Nattie and it's not Sasha and Becky.
I don't think it makes any difference because
I will care more about Sasha being back if it is with Becky than with Nattie. Right now, because Becky went on vacation and they probably had this plan before, they were like, okay, what can we do to hold off Sasha versus Becky for a while and put Sasha in something, bring her back, but put her in something that isn't with Becky right away. They probably were like, okay, let's give her Nattie. Becky just killed Nattie, so let's have Sasha kill Nattie some more.
Sasha came off whiny.
Sounds good? Excellent. I just don't...
She did come off whiny, but I think since she's been back, I think people have kind of been turned off by her.
I don't know. Again, like I said, I would be fine with her.
I don't think it makes any difference because she didn't get a big... Last week when it was, or a couple weeks ago when it was her and Becky fighting, it wasn't like there was a huge pop out of that.
No, but there was more of a reaction than there was tonight.
Well, Ronda
and
Rousey's,
I would say, honestly, I will say it's solely probably because of Becky. That's why they got the reaction that they did last week.
Well,
when she beat up Becky. Was when Becky came out is when the loudest part of that whole segment was.
It was, but it still wasn't that big. It wasn't like anything.
No, but it was bigger than, just Sasha getting a reaction tonight, you know?
It's obvious they need Ronda Rousey. I don't know if they need Ronda Rousey. I think you need to put a focus on the women's division if you're going to use them. And I think one of the big issues is they there is no, like, emphasis on anything that the women's division has. It's like the tag team titles. Do you care about tag team titles? I don't. I mean, obviously, WWE really isn't too concerned about their tag team titles when they do the things they've been doing.
Yeah. So that was the extent of the opening segment. Then we get the first King of the Ring match of the night. Ricochet versus Drew. Apparently James went on vacation with Seth and Becky. But WWE's going back to title feuds being the horsewomen.
Yeah.
If you don't have Ronda Rousey, I think the horsewomen are the biggest draw to the women's division. I think that's just the way it is.
Well, I agree, but I think, they there's lots they could do. They don't do it.
There's
no focus on the women's division at all.
Still, if they can build up their women's division, but I still think that even if the women's division was built back up to where it should be, I think the main focuses would still be surrounding the 4 horsewomen.
Well, I think it would be because they're your main stars, so it has to be.
Yeah.
But you have to have, again, if all you're going to do is focus on them, it starts to get stale and you start to have issues with people wanting to watch it and storylines don't necessarily work out. Yeah. And so, you just have to, build stuff.
Just let Rhea Ripley run through everyone.
That might be end up with, so that their plan could be that down the road.
Who knows at this point?
But they need to focus on it, and they need to have the women focused on.
AEW's women's division will be booked better.
It has to be.
Yeah. If it's not, then they're going to be in just as much trouble as WWE.
Well, I think the women's division will.
So, okay, Elijah said James went on vacation with Seth and Becky. Seth and Becky, let's talk about that for a second. They got engaged. I was like, okay, so on Friday... Or Thursday. It was Thursday. I was like, man, nothing's happening on Twitter. At all. When I'm on Twitter, nothing's happening. This is, so boring. This is boring. I get off Twitter for an hour, guys. An hour. And I come back. And I see this tweet. And I'm like, you couldn't have done this an hour sooner? Come on, guys. I wasn't even on Twitter. I was like, ugh. But yeah, they're engaged. And I was like, ah! So... Sorry if I just killed anybody's eardrums.
Yeah, after tonight, I don't want to see anybody talk crap about AEW's. I agree.
Why would people be talking crap about the AEW tag division? That's what I want to know.
Well, because there's not,
They really have, they have a better tag division than...
Hey, Chaos.
They have a better tag division than, WWE right now. So why would anybody be talking crap about that? I don't get that.
Well, I think the big thing is until we see what AEW is going to put out there, obviously, their main stars, but until they get their show up and running and do it weekly, then I don't know that we can really say a whole lot about AEW. Yeah, we've had some pay-per-views, but again, it's hard to build anything when all you're doing is pay-per-views.
Yeah. So, Ricochet versus Drew. Wasn't Seth, engaged to someone else, months ago? I don't think he was engaged. I don't think so. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think so. Where are the Usos? Still probably in trouble from issues, I would assume. Because they weren't involved in this tag team match later on.
Yeah, I don't think until AEW's weekly show comes on, I don't know that you can really...
No, I don't know. That's what I don't get. I don't understand how people can sit here and talk crap about their divisions and this, that, and the other thing when they haven't... there's nothing even out there yet. Yeah, the tag teams that they have signed look to be possibly better than some of the ones that we have in WWE right now. Oh yeah, Finn Balor also got married. I did see that too.
In the jungle or something.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
But I just don't understand how people can talk garbage about it when we haven't seen anything.
Well, that's the big thing. Until you see what they're going to put out weekly, it's tough to really compare the two.
Yeah, so Ricochet versus Drew. I actually did think this was a really good match, and I thought Drew was winning. Oh yeah, so did Peyton Royce. She also got married to Sean Spears.
That's why everybody's on vacation. getting engaged, getting married. Everybody's gone right now.
Yeah, pretty much. Ricochet versus Drew. I'm already over AEW. I honestly thought Drew was winning. I know a lot of people had Drew picked to win the whole tournament. And that was spoiled because Ricochet went over him, and I was like, well.
I wonder if they have other plans for Drew.
That's what I said. I was like, so what are they going to do with him then? Like, I mean, if you want to keep Ricochet looking strong, I totally get this. And I think this was a good decision, putting him over Drew. So, but that totally screws up my plans of the end. Drew versus Elias, and then Shane screws over Drew.
Yeah.
Darn. I still think Elias will be in the finals, and I still think Elias will win. It just won't happen the way
I'm sticking with my guns. Shane is winning the whole thing. I'm going to stick with my guns and say Corbin.
Drew put the crown, he went over to the King of the Ring stuff and picked it up and put it on his head and put it back down, and then he lost. And Corbin did the same thing after he won his match, so it might be the curse.
I think Drew should have won. I think, I'm cool with Ricochet winning. Like I said, it depends on what they're going to do with Drew. If they do something with him, then okay, I'm cool with it.
Drew versus Seth's advertised for Hell in a Cell. I knew. I've got Bam Bam Bigelow. Sounds good, Shane. Sounds good. I saw Drew versus Seth advertised for a lot of
King Buddy Murphy
stuff recently. Like, in the last couple months, I knew there was talk that it would be Drew versus Seth at Clash of Champions. I think it'll be Drew versus Seth sometime soon.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, I don't know. We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
Next, we have Seth and Braun in an interview from last week. And Braun challenges Seth to a match at Clash of Champions for the Universal Championship. Guys, we're going to talk about a guy named Brad Shepard for a minute, okay? Again, more reasons as to why I hate this guy, and he makes me so angry. I don't follow the guy, but his stuff shows up in my feed anyways on Twitter, and then I see it, and then I'm like, can this guy just shut his mouth already? Can somebody, his Twitter account, can somebody just close his Twitter account? Because
that was an awkward segment.
Like, this guy just needs to shut his face. So, yesterday, he put up a tweet. He said, as of the latest show layout today, the current plan is for Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman and the OC to start Raw tomorrow night. Someone underneath was like, Seth's literally in Hawaii. You're such a clown and you don't know anything. Then he comes back with, I hope you enjoyed Seth being on the show as much as I did. And then then the person comes back, they're like, dude, it was literally pre-recorded. It clearly said last week in the quarter. Like it did say last week in the quarter. And other people retweeted this, and they were like, bro, you said he was starting the show, which literally didn't happen. You're a fraud. Stop going after people for calling you out on your BS. Yes, okay? This guy, just take his I can report license away. Because
Brad Shepard,
okay? This guy just
talking about Seth supposed to be on.
He was supposed to open the show, and he was in Hawaii, and the guy then retweeted somebody's comment when he was like, he's in Hawaii, dude, and it clear, like, what are you talking about? And he was like, oh, I hope you enjoyed Seth being on the show, and he was like, dude, it clearly in the corner said last week that this interview was filmed, and everybody knows that he's in Hawaii. Stop trying to cover up your mess. You're digging yourself a bigger hole, and you should just shut up. Chris.
What is going on with the tag team division? I have no clue, Chaos. The thing that they're doing with the tag division is beyond me. You have tag teams, and then you throw together Dolph and Roode.
Why would anyone take his report seriously? Yeah, good question. This guy was like, he's an uninformed
Talking
hack.
about him only gives him views. Yeah, that's why I don't talk about him.
just can't not talk about him because he makes me so mad. It's like, I'm just like...
Yep, but you go back and you look at his stuff and then you talk about him.
No, okay. Slice Wrestling is so much better than him.
So now all 7 people that are watching us right now are going to go check it out. See?
They don't
you just
need
got
to.
him views.
They don't need to because I just
Except
told
for Matt
because
he got blocked.
I want the guy to block me. Like, I don't want to see your stuff. It shows up in my feed.
So skip it.
I should just block him.
Wait,
and I can't
WWE
see
has a
anything.
tag team division? I would have never guessed.
Like, dude, I swear, his reports are totally bogus. Wait, sliced or sliced? Sliced? Sliced wrestling? Block him. I should.
I think I'm blocked.
I think everybody's blocked, okay? Because we're all like, dude.
I'm not blocked, but if I see stuff in my feed, I kind of go over it. So
I read everything in my feed generally.
Yeah, well, I don't. Slice
is a cool dude.
Yeah.
I love his reports. They're obviously fake, but they are so funny. Like, I love his stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
But Brad Shepard, man, somebody take his Twitter account away or something like.
Or just ignore it. That's easier.
No, it'd be better if his Twitter account was just taken away because then everybody. No, because other people that I follow, like, they like either. I don't even know what they do, but like.
There's
just
sliced
don't get it.
And slice. Slice is a parody of slice wrestling. Yeah.
I just
Kimbo's
don't get it. Okay, anyways, moving on. I'm done talking about that person. We're moving on. So Braun challenges Seth to a match in Clash of Champions, and so as of right now, they're gonna have 2 matches.
Yes.
Well, at least Seth's gonna have 2 matches.
Yeah.
Well, I mean Braun would too, but I have theories for Braun in a minute. Just hold on. So then we get Miz versus Corbin. Both the King of the Ring matches were pretty early on in the show, I thought, and I thought that was kind of like weird. But, you know, whatever. We had stuff to get to later with tag teams. So Corbin won. Blah, I don't like Corbin. And then after he was
Why? Why are Roode and Ziggler winning the titles?
Hold on, we'll talk about that in a minute. We can yell in just a minute. Just hold on. Corbin won. Then he got on the mic and talked about how he's going to be King Corbin, and yes. So, that was all it was. Moving on, OC promo. This is the talking about wanting the tag titles back. And then we get a recap of Rey last week, and Rey is going to be on next week, making his return. Then we get Bayley versus Nikki.
We're getting close, Export.
This is a pretty pointless match if they weren't going to have anything happen during it. I don't see why we had to have this.
Corbin will be king.
Bayley won. Then we get a Braun interview. I don't really remember what happened in this Braun interview. I just wrote down Braun interview. It probably was nothing, and that's why I can't remember. It was pointless. There was nothing memorable about this interview, so I don't have anything for that. Now we got to the tag team turmoil match! Okay. Viking Raiders start against the B team. They obviously beat the B team. And then we get the match that could have been match of the century. But no. We're too stupid. It's pause time. Hi, Scott. I swear, I heard Michael Cole say that at the beginning, and I was like, can I go hide in my hidey hole? Because, man.
Bayley or Snake was no further buried the title. Yes.
I suppose. I don't.
Yeah.
Where was Alexa tonight?
I don't know.
She didn't even come out with Nikki.
A lot of
Who knows?
the big issue with tonight was a lot of stuff.
Oh, she might have been on the tour.
A lot of the stuff tonight didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't get it. I know.
I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is just a lot of the stuff didn't make sense.
Well, not on a Vince McMahon. It won't be match of the year. So Viking Raiders versus OC is what we're supposed to get next in this set of matches. This ends in a double disqualification. Your 2 most qualified teams out of all of them, and you double disqualify them. What? You're stupid, right?
Yes.
You are so stupid. I don't get it at this point. Tag teams, I just don't get it.
Roode drops Gable and gets Ziggler.
Ziggler is 42 steps down.
No,
Gable.
we don't want Queen of the Ring with Vince producing.
No. We don't.
Right now, I'm not sure that we want tag titles with Vince having
Tag titles of the ring.
anything to do with it.
We don't want tag titles of the ring. So,
I can't see, I don't see this being anything to do with, like, Heyman or anybody else.
No. I feel like this whole show was like Vince. Like, it just feels like it was. It does not feel like this was a show that we have been getting in the last several weeks. You know? Like, it feels nothing like what we've been getting. And I just don't understand it at all. No jobbers for the Raiders tonight. Yeah, but this wasn't really a step up either, man. They don't want to give either the titles. They don't want to give either the titles yet, but I don't want to beat them. Not good, but I see why. Give that to NXT. Why does Vince hate tag team wrestling? Where are the Ascension? Matt asked that same question. Let NXT do Queen of the Ring. Cough, cough, Mae Young Classic, Matt. I don't know. I feel like the Mae Young Classic and Queen of the Ring could be two separate things.
I don't know. But right now, they would screw up almost anything.
If this leads into a feud with the OC and the Raiders, then I'm good with it. I mean, yeah. I would be too.
Okay, but the question if you're going to talk about tag team championships, then okay. But if you're not going to have your big name...
No, but this isn't even about tag team championships.
Okay, but this is
Neither of them are champions.
Okay, that's what I'm pointing out to, is if it leads to them being feuding over the tag titles down the road, then okay. The issue I have with all of this is they've just thrown tag teams together, and they're your champions.
Okay, so earlier in the show, the Street Profits were like, oh yeah, we got this tag team turmoil match. And they were going through all the teams. And then they were like, so who's the 8th team? And I was like, let it be the Street Profits, please. Even if they don't win, I don't care. At least it's an actual tag team. They were like, no.
I do think that...
It's Ziggler and Roode. And I was like, why?
I do think Chaos, I think that they will have more pay-per-views.
I don't understand it. I was like, you have a viable tag team right there, standing right in front of you, the Street Profits, and you don't put them in this, even if they were just to get eliminated, doesn't matter. I don't care if the Street Profits are staying in NXT. I don't care. It would have been an actual tag team to put in this match that was an actual tag team. That wasn't just Ziggler and Roode thrown together. I would have much preferred seeing Street Profits put in instead of them, even though they would have lost. I don't even care, because it would have been an actual tag team. Wonder if that was the Uso spot, but maybe it was. We will have visited the classic between War Raiders versus Street Profits. Yeah. I just don't know. Like, this just seemed dumb. I just don't. Shane, I wonder if you're right. I wonder if that was supposed to be the Uso spot, but they done screwed up. And they weren't going to put them in there because we haven't seen them on TV in weeks at this point. And so, I don't know when they're going to come back. I don't want to hear about the Street Profits staying in NXT than why we're Heavy Machinery in it if they were an SD team. Same thing with Heavy Machinery is also a SmackDown team. Revival's a Raw team. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins are a Raw team. There are 2 SmackDown teams. Were Ryder and Hawkins in there? I don't remember. Yeah, they were. So, Well, chill. We got an NXT title match this week. Yes, I forgot about that. That was this week where they're gonna have to deal with the titles. So, Major Bros need some love. Yeah, they were tag champs for a bit, and then they just kind of screwed it up. NXT's basically a third brand now. I get that, and I understand that, but I think that they're going to keep, I don't know. I don't even know, guys, because I think it's going to be a third brand, and I don't know if there's going to be a whole bunch of moving guys around at this point. Random thrown together team defending against another random thrown together team. Yay, is in the tag team division. Great, guys. I know, right? See, I don't know. A lot of people did have a problem with Braun and Seth winning the titles, and I get that. I understand that. But I feel like it almost makes more sense for them holding the titles at this point than, anybody else, because I feel like they are building a story behind that. They're going to defend their titles, and then they're going to fight each other. I mean, I'm okay with it, but, Ziggler and Roode, I don't know. It really is just thrown together, and, Shane said, what if Ziggler and Roode's spot was supposed to be for the Usos? That would make sense to me.
Okay, but I just don't understand why you just threw someone together and...
Again, like I said, if Street Profits staying on NXT, then why are they still on Raw? To promote NXT, because their names always show up with the NXT logo. If they're not having them wrestle and they're just hype guys, that's all I can think. And then after NXT moves to USA, they are not moving up. Yeah. Those are all the reports that I've seen. That's my theory. I just don't. You could easily just build up the whole, I don't even know how to read, the world title feud without using the tag titles. I get that and understand that.
Yes.
I didn't have a huge problem with Seth and Braun winning them. Now, if Dolph and Roode, this whole situation with Dolph and Roode, I just feel like it's just dumb.
I agree. The Vince doesn't have confidence in the Revival, and I don't know that I really have a lot of confidence in the Revival, but the fact is, if you're going to use them, use them, but otherwise... I mean, I don't understand this whole thing that they're doing with Dolph and Roode.
Also...
Makes no sense at all.
I thought that the Revival were supposed to have... They're supposed to have a tag team match against New Day at Clash of Champions, so them winning would have made absolutely no sense. They put out a challenge last week, at least. Whether New Day accepts it or not, I don't know, but that's, as far as I know, they were supposed to wrestle New Day for the SmackDown tag titles at Clash of Champions. So putting them in this match, I get it, it's another tag team, but it makes no sense. They're not going to win. Legacy 2 with Randy, where the Revival can go away. I don't know. I don't really like him with either.
Yeah.
I don't but
I thought
people complain that they aren't wrestling
the
on
whole
the show.
Randy and Revival thing, I thought,
I think it's fine. Randy's a bad guy, and I don't like him. Man.
I think he's been the best heel on WWE.
Give them a chance, Gleen. They may work good together. I think they did pretty well tonight in the ring. In ring wise, isn't Woods kayfabe injured? I don't know at this point.
Isn't Woods kayfabe injured? I think that Dolph and Roode could be good together. I just think that I would rather have seen them built up and not just thrown into this.
Matt, I don't think Kofi will wrestle twice. I think they'll be like, okay, well, Big E and Woods are fine, and they're gonna defend their titles, and then they'll lose them.
Or maybe just Big E. They say, okay, Big E's gonna wrestle by himself.
I couldn't see them doing that. I could totally see. I suppose if they did it in the way that if E was like, okay, well. They can't. Kofi's already in a match, and I don't want him to wrestle a second time. And, Woods is injured, so I'll defend the titles myself, even if... But I feel like he wouldn't even do that either, because he feels like he knows it wouldn't be smart, because they're going to get the best of him, and he's only one guy.
Yeah.
So...
Bray Wyatt called that Sting on Twitter.
I saw that.
I'm telling you, they're going to do something with Sting.
Yes.
He may not be cleared or anything like that, but I'm telling you, they're going to do something with Sting.
Imagine if Braun won the U.S.
Wyatt.
title, half of the Clash of Champions card will be Braun. I have a theory for that. Hold up, export. I'll talk about that in just a little bit. WWE made it out like Woods broke his leg. Kofi needs to lose. I agree, Kofi needs to lose. Matt, they go back on things all the time. They're acting like Woods broke his leg. He'll be completely fine on SmackDown tomorrow night. Like, watch. Watch. He'll be back. And he'll be completely fine.
Get serious and drop the pancakes and go back to Ben Curtis. Right now, Chaos, I don't think it makes any difference whether they're throwing pancakes or not. Obviously, WWE doesn't take a whole lot of things serious with Dolph and Roode being thrown in here, with Seth and Braun being the champions. I don't think that they really take a whole lot serious as far as some of the things they're doing.
Who watched Kushida versus Gulak? I did not. Put the world title to Murphy.
Just as well. Give the title to Murphy.
If Rollins is allowed to compete twice, and so can Kofi. I just don't think they're going to have Kofi fight twice. Because if they have Kofi in a street fight match, that just sounds dumb. Street fight. Then, I just don't see him wrestling twice. I don't see him wrestling earlier in the show and then getting the crap kicked out of him.
Not to mention that
I don't see him getting the crap kicked out of him twice because ultimately I think all of New Day is losing their titles.
Not to mention that would be original to have some guy wrestling
twice when they're already going to have Braun and Seth doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So, I just don't think that that's going to be the case. I think that Woods will end up defending.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if he's injured. Big E might not even tag him in. Maybe he'll tag him in once and then he'll be thrown out and just be out of the rest of the match, and E will have to fend for himself, but then they lose the titles anyways.
Yeah, I don't care if New Day's
They did that. They did that with they did that whole situation with Sasha and Bayley, where Bayley had to defend the titles pretty much on her own.
Big E should turn I think, New Day, like I said, I don't know that it matters.
I think they just need to take some time away from TV, not be champions for a while, take some time away from TV, let people miss them, and then come back.
Are people going to miss them?
I don't know. You'd have to see.
I don't think so.
But I think they should do that, though. Take them off TV for a while and then bring them back.
Okay, but well,
just don't involve them in a big major storyline for a while. Use somebody else. I don't know, because I feel like that would be. I just don't know. I just don't know at this point. I don't even know what to say
apparently
about.
Apparently, Sting will be on SmackDown on Fox to set up a sided match with Taker because apparently Vince wins. Maybe that's how they're going to set up. I don't know, maybe Bray Wyatt attacks him maybe that's what he did. Let's have him attack him on SmackDown.
E could be in the main event if used correctly. Yes, I agree. E could be in the main event if used correctly. And if on his own.
You said a key word there. Or words. If used correctly.
Keywords.
How many times have you seen lately, any of the talent being used correctly?
Not generally.
I mean, it's like they want everybody to look like they're going for the title and not just have a match.
Yeah.
Have a feud going without the titles being on the line or anybody going for the title.
Mm-hmm.
The rumor mill is Sting versus Taker and Saudi. That would be good.
That'd be good.
Good.
He could be...
He could be successful and get Ahmed Johnson.
Hey, man, Ahmed Johnson. What you got against him, man? I like Ahmed Johnson.
Right now, Bray Wyatt's the only dude. Yeah, I agree.
Very negative vibe tonight. I apologize, Shane. It just wasn't a very good show.
Well, the big issue is, and last week we talked about
because Ross sucked. CX Sports there to back us up, man.
Last week we talked about, trying not to badmouth things and trying to be positive about things. I think the big
Chaos
issue...
is like, I like you guys because you're so positive. And
yeah,
you're
I know.
like,
and now
well, this show, it wasn't very good, but, like, you don't, like, trash it. And here we are, we're like, this show sucked.
I think that... I think...
Shane liked it. I didn't think, like... I don't want to say it was, like,
it wasn't as bad.
horrible.
It wasn't as bad as what?
But it wasn't, like, good either. It just wasn't like the last several weeks have been. It was kind of a letdown in that aspect.
Well, I think the one big issue you have is
Bray was probably joking about the Sting comment. Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he listens to our show.
Might have been. I don't know.
And he was like, oh, they want to see me fight Sting?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sting!
I think the one issue with tonight was Sasha's started it off and didn't have a big pop. I mean, that was
she
huge.
Got what chance? What?
It wasn't bad.
As you guys are making it seem, it wasn't as bad.
I think it would have been better if some of the things...
I had my TV muted.
I think the big issue you have is some of the stuff just didn't make sense.
Yeah. Like, a lot of loopholes.
I mean, as far as storylines go, a lot of it didn't make sense. The tag team thing wasn't good. Sasha didn't turn out a good promo, I didn't think.
Shane agrees with us on that.
Bayley versus Nikki, which...
I didn't see the point to that.
Why? I mean, right now, at this point in time, why do that with Nikki being, a champion? Again, you're not putting anybody else out there to try and get them over.
Has she ever put out a good promo? This one was just not very good. But the Sasha
I don't think so.
Match was good.
Hey,
Shane, we haven't got to that yet, man. We haven't gotten to that yet. But I will agree, it was a good match.
I thought the Ricochet Drew match was good.
I did too. The outcome was very unexpected. I for sure thought Drew was winning. Off the old feud, which I get and I understand, but it just felt very like it wasn't super needed. It didn't make Nikki look good.
I get the Bayley versus Nikki is off the old feud. I understand that, but why are you could do something else with that and not have to worry about the old feud, considering
NXT.
You have Nikki as a tag team champion. Have someone else step up and fight Bayley.
Yeah. NXT Sasha was awesome. King of the Ring matches were good. Cesaro versus Alexander was good. I also thought Cesaro versus Alexander was very good. I thought the
King of the Ring matches were solid.
And I thought where they... we're going to kind of talk about that next. I thought where Alexander kind of played out that he was working with one leg and he did those sort of moves off the rope, but then he got caught and then he pulled through with the win. I thought it was very good. I really did. I thought that was one of the best matches on the show tonight. Anyways, tag team turmoil match. We're kind of like...
Where is Sarah Logan?
Don't know. She's on Ride Along. I did know that.
Yeah. NXT Sasha died the second she debuted on Raw. Yeah, I mean, it's...
I guess say Raw now.
I think the biggest issue is they need to be able to be more creative with what they're doing on Raw and SmackDown.
Becky recovered out of the floor. Yeah.
Alexander Selling is fantastic. Yes.
Yeah, Becky did. I mean, she was called the least relevant of the four, and then look at her now. Ha ha ha! People.
I love that he did the handspring into the kick with one leg.
Me too. I did too. I was like, geez, that's probably hard to do. Like, you have to be pretty athletic and skilled to do that with like the one leg. That's what I'd think. So, anyways, Dolph and Roode, they go through all these teams: Revival, Lucha House Party, Broskis, Heavy Machinery. Yeah, they just beat a whole bunch of people, and they get a shot at Seth and Braun at Clash Champions. They should have made Sasha a woman of few words. That's what I said. I think she'd be fine if she didn't have to cut many promos.
She didn't have very many words, did she? So she had few words tonight.
She did have quite a bit.
She did? Dude.
Did I kill it?
No.
I didn't. Darn.
You did it there.
I did?
Yeah.
Yes! I did. I got it. Ha ha ha! Death.
I think
of
a
the
lot
Fly.
of it is
Part 87 at this point.
You know, I don't think she said a whole lot when she did say anything.
No, it wasn't a lot that was very important.
I thought about rewatching All In during Raw. That's how. I hope they don't just give Sasha the belt to feed her ego. She should go back home before she turns in one. I agree. I think that if you give her the belt, what are you doing? It's the same thing you did with the Revival. Oh, here, we're going to let you get the title. Just make sure that, you come in here and act like you're happy.
Man, you guys are being ridiculous. Shane, whoa.
Did you? Okay, Shane.
If I had a family, I've killed 82 flies at this point. You've been here. There are many flies that are bothering me. I killed him. I'm
he
the
still
fly
has a
killer.
family.
I'm the fly swatter.
That fly still has a family. It's just that they don't have him anymore.
I honestly
so Shane,
Shane,
you think the Sasha promo was good at the beginning?
No, he said he didn't like that.
Okay, so there's one thing you thought was wrong. I said the Ricochet Drew match was okay, good. Solid.
I thought it was good.
Then you have the Seth Braun interview.
I really like the Ricochet
which
match.
I thought was okay. It's just kind of rehashing Braun.
Missing Corbin, I did think it was a decent match.
Okay,
it wasn't.
Can I finish here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just the Seth Braun thing was just kind of a replay of what we already knew, that flies don't live long. It's fail.
It's probably dead already.
Missing. So I just didn't for the King of the Room. Yeah, and so then, the whole Seth Braun thing I thought was okay. I mean, it's Braun basically, we already knew he wanted a title shot, so you knew that was coming.
The missing Corbin match just really wasn't my cup of tea. Well, I just don't like Corbin.
You don't like Corbin, and I told you what was going to happen, and
I knew he was winning, I just don't like Corbin, I really didn't care for that match.
I don't remember whether it was Matt or Export or somebody talked about, this was pretty obvious because Miz is in a deal with Nakamura.
I think it was Export who said that.
The
OC promo
was okay. Recap of Rey last week. Okay, so what? Who cares? Bayley versus Nikki. Why? The Braun interview. Okay.
I don't even remember what happened. Biggest weapon in the headlock.
You have the tag team turmoil match, which why is Dolph and Roode involved in this? No clue. So up to this point, which part, Shane, was good? Other than the King of the Ring matches.
Ricochet and Drew. And where was Nakamura to screw over Miz?
See, they could have done so much more with that. I mean, it would have been...
It would have made me like it more.
It would have made it more interesting and made it the storyline would have been continued.
Yeah.
As to why they're going to feud.
Corbin is now John Moxley cosplay. I would like to know why he started. What the heck? He went from an Olive Garden waiter to wearing the jacket over top, and now when he takes the jacket off, he's a tank top on now, and it just looks stupid. And bro.
Maybe were you in New Orleans? There was a Wrestle Story sign behind Mustache.
I wasn't. I wish I was.
Hey, we're just popular.
We are just popular. They're just trying to get us out there, right?
I legit forget.
But the King of the Ring
Miz
is the
and
majority
Nakamura is feuding. Everything is a mess. Yeah, I mean that's just it. I mean it's one of those things.
King of the Ring was the majority of Raw. I
get that, but
I think the first match was good. Like I said, I just don't care for Corbin.
When you're trying,
and that's what kind of screwed up. Corbin thinks he's Pokemon to evolve. Corbin thinks he has to evolve.
The stupid parts were minimal. The stupid parts might have been minimal, but they're huge in part of the storylines that are going on.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one issue I have with it is the fact that you have this tag team thing is being messed up. The whole Braun, the Sasha thing. I mean, that's supposed to be your next big women's thing going on, and you do that. I mean, I don't know. Overall, like I said, the King of the Ring matches, like you said, were good. It's just that you have all this other stuff in there that's seen as being key and important to big storylines, and it's being messed up.
Still sucks that it still hasn't evolved. Hey, man, I will say Corbin has one of the best theme songs out of anybody, which sucks to say because I hate the guy. And Deep Six and End of Days. Those are some vicious finishers, I will say. Again, promo was garbage. Match was good. Shane. We're getting to that. Hold on. Next we have that pesky Roman recap. It's like that fly I just killed. It's like you just want to go to the television because you've seen it a million times. I can remember all of Buddy Murphy's 3 lines at this point. I don't know how long it took him to remember those. It's taken me not as many weeks as this promo has played to remember what he says.
If you remember Deep Six and End of Days and the theme, then expect a new clear head for him. Heat for him. Roman is apparently a moron for going along with all this. Yes.
Pretty much.
I pretty much agree.
So yeah, we have the Roman recap with the whodunit. Corbin without those 2 moves is garbage. I agree. Me too.
Sick of seeing the car crash. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping we see it tomorrow.
I'm not. I hope we never see it again. I hope after this is over, we never relive this. Roman's... Can you just imagine this? I can
tolerate Roman and now they're doing...
Can you imagine this? Roman gets inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he's like, here are highlights of my career. And they show this video.
Yeah,
son, this should be the worst highlights of your career. Because this was not a highlight at all.
Well, the question is, how long do they have to play this out?
I don't know, man. I just want to find out who his actual attacker is, because I highly doubt it's the guy who they said it was. It's probably Brian. And we pulled this out. I just don't get it.
He gets inducted and finally gets
hit by the car on stage.
And then we find out who it was. They get out of the car.
And it's somebody. It's like, who even knows? It was Rikishi. It'll be Rikishi that gets out of the car. Oh, jeez. Oh, the things we could do with this man.
And he goes off about how if Roman was driving, the Usos wouldn't have got in trouble.
And he did it
because he would have been not drunk.
And he did it for The Rock.
Yes.
It was Rikishi, and he did it for The Rock.
Ring of Honor did it, put on that show. Bullet Club put on.
Our ideas would be so much better than what they're doing right now. I mean, come on. Let's just forget he had an attacker, and then at his Hall of Fame ceremony, we'll just bring it all back up.
They need to just have him wake up in a dream.
I did it for the people.
Roman Reigns at his house, sleeping.
And he wakes up and it's all a dream.
Oh, it's just a dream.
And we're all like, that was a dream? I hope.
Roman's wooden personality makes this pretty out. Yeah. I did it for the people.
He doesn't sell it very well. He's supposed to look confused, but he doesn't really look confused. He just looks like, I don't know how I'm supposed to look. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just not good.
I thought they were going to do like an amnesia type thing with him. And
no. But you've been saying that for the last several months. You said that back at WrestleMania too.
Yeah, because, I mean, with the way he reacted there, I thought they could do like an amnesia thing. But now it's like, okay, whatever.
They attack people at home now. The WWE audience wakes up and the last 4 years of wrestling have been a dream. So, next we get to Sasha versus Nattie. I did think this was a good match. After this match was over, I will say what I said again at the beginning. I was like, I just don't want to see Natalya anymore. Like, they keep doing the same thing to her over and over where she just gets beat down, and that's the only thing I just don't like that. She just got out of a feud where she got the crap kicked out of her. And she's in another feud where she's getting the crap kicked out of her. Let's just take her...
See what you started.
Let's just take her...
See who started.
Off TV.
Who are you talking to, Shane?
You know? What are your thoughts on this? Like, Nattie's being put in the same situation she was just in where she got crap kicked out of her. I would rather just not see her on TV than... have to watch her get beat down week after week where it's the same thing where she's cutting the same promo talking about how, oh, she stabbed me in the back and blah, 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 and I don't like you anymore.
Okay, but obviously right now the women's division is not real
I
good,
know,
so
and
they're
I
putting it
get
out
that,
there.
and I understand that. But I'm just saying,
The German could have broken her neck.
I just would rather not see Nattie put in these situations just because, like, I feel like it's
suplex
just,
killed
it
Sasha.
sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I don't know.
The German suplex was fire. I agree. It was pretty lit, as
Can't believe Renee has turned on Sasha.
the street profits say. It was lit. That's what they do.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do it, because it just makes me laugh. That's probably why they do it, because they're like, it makes Maven laugh. So let's continue doing it.
I guess.
I suppose. Can't believe Renee turned on Sasha. You know? Corey turned on Sasha too. But I don't really think Corey liked anybody from the very beginning.
No.
So
I don't think so.
the suplex was really good though. Sasha gets the win as expected. She puts Nattie in the bank statement. And she taps out. So the German suplex could have went horribly, horribly wrong. I get that, but there are risks with that pretty much everything you do. So
That's how you should tag with Beth Phoenix until Edge comes.
and then it's
And
Seth versus Edge, and Becky versus Beth. Yeah, I missed Vic on commentary already. Me too. We opened the show and I was like, oh darn, Corey Graves is back.
Yeah.
Darn, I wish we had Vic. Ugh. He sounds so natural.
Yeah.
He's
agree.
so good at commentary. Like, I miss him to export. I really do. It's sad. It makes my heart hurt. I gotta go to NXT UK and is he on 205 Live? Does he commentate on 205 Live?
I don't know. I haven't watched 205 Live in a long time. So.
I haven't either. And I don't remember if he does on there. Watch WWE ruin Becky and Sasha. The match will suck. I am not going to say that, Matt. I'm not going to discount it because it will be good. There, you heard it straight from me. Forget somebody else's reports. Listen to mine.
Cole should go away. I'm okay with the rest.
I don't have a problem with Renee either. Like, I feel like Renee...
Anyone heard of 205 Live being canceled?
Me?
I've heard stories. I don't know,
Matt,
I've
they
seen
both
stuff.
suck at
I don't know if
wrestling,
it's true.
so...
But well, Matt, they both suck.
Shane! You want to start some issues again, buddy boy? You want to start some
This
issues?
is WWE we're talking about here. Not yet export. The whole Becky Sasha thing, I think that the big issue is...
I think it will be big because it's Becky versus Sasha. I think
don't know.
that's
You
what's
have
going to
to-
carry the feud, is that it's Becky versus Sasha.
But you have to,
I understand they have to build it up and all that garbage, but I think what's going to carry the feud is that it is Becky versus Sasha.
Yeah, okay, well, whatever.
That's what I think. And when it does...
Kind of like a lot of these men's matches are...
Talk to
the
me
tag
later,
matches,
then.
tag team matches, and things like that are being built really well. So
I get that and understand that. This week was kind of a setback from the last several weeks. We'll come back next week and hopefully it'll be better. Becky will be back, I think. I'd hope. Seth should be back. It should be excellent.
Their NXT feud match will be 10 times better. Yeah, probably.
We'll see. I'm not discounting anything. Okay.
NXT is just a better product.
Yeah.
And I thought some changes to be made when Heyman and Bischoff were supposed to have gotten control of things, and some of the
I
things
can't
just
even
haven't
tell
made
if
sense.
Bischoff has gotten control. I can't even tell. Last week's Raw was excellent. Vince wasn't there. It was awesome and excellent and fire. And this week it was
Yeah. So then we have Cedric Alexander versus Cesaro.
Becky versus Sasha is the only match that I care about this pay-per-view. I agree. I hope they do Becky versus Sasha.
Bischoff isn't even doing crap on SD. Yeah.
I don't even know.
So what did you think of this match?
Cedric versus Cesaro?
Yeah.
I thought this was excellent. I did think this was a really good match. Vince wasn't at the show last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't. And the show was excellent. I don't care about Clash of Champions. Well,
They haven't built anything. I think that's the biggest issue.
I think that's part of the problem.
Nothing
It's
built.
and also we only have 2 matches announced for the pay-per-view at this point, and so we don't really know what's going to happen. So,
Yes, definitely. I agree with you. Alexa and Charlotte need to teach Sasha how to do a promo. Because, I mean, right now, and that's the biggest issue is I've said if you want to get over and you want to be big, you have to be able to do a good promo.
Yeah.
Whether that means you come out, I don't know. I think Charlotte does a pretty good job.
Oh, it says 54 minutes ago, exclusive. The Viking Raiders are far from over with Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. And they're yelling at a camera. Charlotte
sounds like a robot. I can see that. I mean, that's... I don't know. It's kind of like... I don't know. Some of it's how you handle yourself, I think.
Matt, you're probably going to hate me, but I do agree. Charlotte does sound like a robot sometimes.
Boom! Shane just blew up. The Saudi show is
I know where he's going with this. He's going to talk about Viking Raiders and OC.
Oh.
Watch. Shane, did I read your mind? Yes.
WWE won't care about Clash because of the Saudi. Yeah, I agree. Which is stupid. How you doing, little Faccini? What happened tonight? Long day at work. Just did 13 hours. Some people think it was a good show, and some people think that it wasn't so good. Some people, Shane, thinks it was a good show, and some people, like everybody else, didn't think it was like a really good show.
It's Rick when I look at Charlotte, and it's disturbing. I don't know, man. I don't know. I felt like the show was okay, but not.
Which is why they won't care about the Sasha Becky because of the Saudi show. I could see it happening. Yes, I agree.
Matt, stop it.
I could see that.
I think they will treat it beautifully. Actually, okay. I do think they will treat it fine. But I don't think this feud is going to be over just after this pay-per-view. I think they are going to drag it out for several months. I don't think Sasha's winning the title off the bat. I wanted to say this earlier, but I didn't get a chance to. I don't think Sasha's winning the title in the first defense from Becky. I think she's retaining it. And then they'll have another match a little bit down the line. Maybe she'll have Becky will have a challenger in between there. And then when Becky goes to Survivor Series to to fight whoever is the SmackDown Women's Championship. Whoever. Whoa, what am I saying? Guys, it's getting late and I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Whoever is the SmackDown Women's Champion, not championship. Whoever is the SmackDown Women's Champion, they'll fight each other, Becky and whoever that is, at Survivor Series. Sasha will get involved there. And then they will have their match again at TLC. And then Sasha will win the title there.
They need to Asuka
or Royal Rumble.
I agree, Chaos. I think that having them... right now, I think they should just scrap the women's tag division because it's just not good.
I just don't.
And
I feel differently. I don't think they should scrap the division as a whole. I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that's super cool and very fair to the women that have put in what little bit of work has been done for the tag division. I don't think that's cool. And so...
Nobody remembers that, Chaos.
No, we forget that. We don't see that.
Because remember, right after that, Becky had the title.
Sorry, I gotta keep moving it up so we can't see that.
They buried it tonight.
Oh, well, export! Stop! Now you're talking about it too. I gotta cover it up. We don't remember that.
Well, it's one of those things that, having Asuka, it was start of... How you doing, James? It was start of the whole, things that don't make sense type stuff.
Whoa. How'd you expect to put Nikki in there?
That's just it. I mean, that's Chaos. That's the one thing there's not enough women out there to have a tag division.
I get that.
I don't think there was work put into it.
I don't know. I just don't think it's cool to take the tag titles away completely. I just don't. I know a lot of people feel differently.
You have 32 women on between Raw and SmackDown.
I don't think it's cool to take away the tag titles that they brought in and just you sit there and say, okay, well this didn't work, so we're taking it away. And our division at this point sucks. Where was Becky tonight? on vacation. She was in Hawaii. Well, she's still in Hawaii.
So,
I just don't think it's cool to take away the tag
chaos.
titles.
If you're going to have a title, have a mid-card women's title. I agree with that.
They
I think that
I
think that would make it better. I think that because there are not a lot of women that are there.
Well deserved.
I think that they should have a mid-card women's singles title rather than having the tag titles. Because there's just not enough women's tag teams women's
Instead of
tag
the way they
teams
decided the champions,
that you could
they should have
have
done tournament
a division.
champions. I was fine with them doing it in Elimination Chamber. I was fine with that. I didn't have a problem with it. I don't know. I just don't think it's cool to take the tag titles away. That's just the way I feel about it. And sorry, everybody disagrees with me.
Because the
I don't
Iconics
care.
just kept it forever and not wrestled. It would have been more exciting.
They're on Alexa and Nikki now.
I know. The Iconics should have just kept it. Because now you've wasted Alexa and Nikki for what?
They did more with the tag titles in the 2 weeks that they've had them than the whole 6 months that they've been around.
Okay. And?
I just don't think it's cool to take them away. That's just the way I feel about it.
No, that's fine. When SmackDown goes to Fox, they won't be using people on both brands. Yes. This is why I think they need to have a women's show or do something where the women's make it a mid-card title instead of tag titles for the women. Yes. I think that they need to have a mid-card title for the women. The chamber match was lazy to me. Only 2 teams qualified for the match.
I was fine with it. I didn't have a problem with it.
Again, they didn't... when you don't have enough women in the division...
They had more teams than they do right now, so what are you even saying? I understand they don't have enough teams, but you make it sound like they didn't have enough teams from the beginning. They had more teams than they do right now. People got injured. There's nothing you can do about that. And so when they come back, you will have more teams to work with. Okay.
Whatever.
They had more teams.
Good, so we have the same 3 teams wrestling for the 1 title.
Well,
all right.
That's the way it is for right now. They have people out with injuries. So what? There's not a lot you can do.
The more teams... Yeah, it was also across all 3 brands when it came out. I agree. I thought they were going to do it that way.
Thank you. You agree with me. Wow. Thanks. High five.
The problem is if you take out, if you have 32 women and it's like 16 of them are...
I understand at this
wrestling
point,
in a tag team,
Alexa
it's
and
pointless.
Nikki have defeated every team that exists, but it goes back to what I just said. They had more teams. People got injured.
Okay, you had
more teams.
Okay, who?
Riot Squad, Nia and Tamina.
Well, Riot Squad, they've
Beth
obviously
and Nattie.
split up completely.
Well, they did, but Ruby Riot's out right now with shoulder surgery, and
Beth
they could
and
have
Nattie
her.
were kind of thrown together as kind of a short-term type thing.
Well, but they were a tag team before that.
Well,
so
they were, but
it
wasn't going to be
if
continued.
given the opportunity, they could have gone and done.
I thought that was the plan, Matt. I thought the plan was to have them do cross all, NXT, SmackDown, Raw, and even NXT UK.
But even then, we could still be sitting here and saying, oh, well, we don't have enough teams for them to defend
But
against.
all those teams go to one brand. No. Which messes everything up. If you're not going to have them all in one brand, and you're going to have to keep them split, it's not going to work out.
I don't know. What I do know is that they had more teams when they started, and they're doing what they can with what they've got right now.
At this point, put it back on I agree, export. Put it back on the Iconics so the titles can be banished for good. Yes. Well, they should if they would give it. Yeah. I think if you're going to include NXT, then I wouldn't have an issue with, as long as you're going to have it, across the whole WWE umbrella.
Yeah.
So Cedric gets the win.
Excellent match.
Yeah, it's solid. Again, Cedric Alexander always has a good match, and I think Cesaro does pretty good with his matches too. So, it's another match that was really good as far as King of the Ring goes.
So then we get the only 24/7 segment that we've gotten at all tonight. I'm pretty sure if you include NXT, we'll have enough teams for the women. Okay, but how many teams are in NXT that aren't just going to be two people thrown together?
I don't know.
See, you don't even know. So, like, we could still sit here and say the same thing. Oh, they don't have enough teams. Oh, they don't have enough teams.
All you need is, like, one or two across.
VXT? Yeah. I mean, you got them.
I mean, it's not like you need a ton of teams.
I know, but you make it sound like you need a bunch of teams to have a division.
If you've only got 4 teams or 3 teams in the division, like, what are you doing?
Just a minute, Shafir. Yeah, you've got them. I know. If you add NXT, you'll probably have more. But again, like I said, you could sit here and say, oh, well, we still don't have enough teams to be a good division. Like, I mean, Kai Knox will be too many.
I mean,
come back.
You got right there. I mean, there's more teams, within NXT that you could use than there are.
Marina and Ripley, yeah.
More teams in the NXT than there are on, like, the main roster.
Again, as I said, we have people out with injuries, so.
Okay, well, whatever. Even before that, there weren't, like, a ton of teams. You had, like, 4.
No, you didn't. Okay, whatever.
So then we have... They're doing good things with the talent show. Talent now. As far as NXT there, James. Then we have the recap of the 24/7 championship stuff.
Elias is still 24/7 champ. I don't care.
Yeah, we know.
Xylee and Tanara Conchi are teaming on house shows. Okay, cool. Maybe they're making more tag teams.
That's just it. I mean, it's one of those things. That's almost more women in NXT than there are in Raw and SmackDown right now. Both Raw and SmackDown. I think that I like the idea of them using more wrestlers and giving them more opportunities. I just don't like the direction they're going with some of them, James. Like this Dolph Roode thing, I don't like at all.
Yeah.
Not that Dolph and Roode shouldn't like earn their way into a title shot, but just throwing them together and saying, "Here, you're going to go out there and you're going to get a title." It's like the whole Braun and Seth thing winning the titles.
Yeah.
Ripley and Reina Gonzalez are teaming. I'm glad Street Profits are staying on NXT, much safer place. Yes, I agree. Then we have a Dolph and Roode interview.
This was just kind of an interview. They talked about being a tag team since today. So.
I definitely think there's more NXT teams than there are on Raw and SmackDown combined.
Yeah, I get it. I know. But again, you could still sit here and say, oh, we don't have enough teams.
If you want the same 3 teams wrestling, then I guess you got teams.
That was
decent. Recap of Bray.
It was just a bunch of the Funhouse stuff. Cinnamon sick of Charlotte. Keep getting pushed for the title. I'm not. I'm okay with it. I missed Charlotte.
This show is lifeless.
I missed...
Our show or the Raw show?
I missed...
I think Export's either dissing us or dissing the Raw show.
He can diss us. It's fine. I'm in a sour mood now. Thanks, people.
No, well, no, you can't say that with all those teams in NXT.
But he'll find a way to say it, though.
No, I won't. If you have those teams from NXT, then you're good to go.
Raw, of course.
Okay.
Just checking.
Can't wait to see who Bray goes after next. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. I'm curious to see who he goes after next.
Charlotte face, though.
James, right now, like I said, the only person I've gotten any set. Well, there's 2.
With us. He will have agreed with you right now, but he'll get all wishy-washy and he'll change his mind.
No, I won't, because I said if they include NXT, then you probably have enough right now. But
if they
on the main
NXT,
roster, you don't have it.
I'm cool with them including NXT.
Why did they break up the Truth Carmelo team? I I don't know.
I don't know where Carmella is right now. She was on vacation.
I was going to go back to something here.
Charlotte?
Can't wait to see who Bray goes after
Charlotte?
next. No,
Charlotte.
I was going back with... Oh, we were talking... Oh, yeah, Charlotte. About Charlotte being face. I think that the one thing... Right now, there's nobody in WWE outside of The Fiend and Randy Orton who I can sit here and go, okay, they're a heel.
Yeah.
The Fiend, I just don't think cares and will go after anybody.
I don't even want to consider The Fiend as
Randy
a heel.
Orton, what he did a couple weeks ago with Kofi
and Woods,
and the New Day
he's
thing,
a heel, and I don't like him.
That was a heel move, and that was one of the few legitimate heel things that I can sit here and go, okay, I can see a difference.
We do have to sit here and say, okay, Corbin's a heel too, and so is Drew.
Corbin's just annoying.
Corbin is a heel.
Okay? Corbin, I can't tell if he's a heel or not. I mean, he's just, annoying.
Corbin, see, Shane agreed with me. Corbin, heel, yes.
I think Corbin is more annoying than a heel.
Shane is more annoying than a heel.
Shane is a heel. Again,
Ziggler?
Is he a heel, or is it just the fact that we're going, okay?
Whoa. Isn't Ziggler's Twitter handle... Hold on.
Ziggler's a whiny crybaby.
Yeah,
or has
his
been.
Twitter handle is heel Ziggler.
Zayn is another one that's a whiny crybaby.
Corbin has that go away heat. Corbin has that I never want to see you on my TV again heat. I'm sorry I dropped my phone.
So about to say is Bray heel. So
He
again,
literally
Bray I think just doesn't care. He goes after everybody. Shane is a heel. Shane, I think, is just more of a corporate guy, and everybody's going to hate him anyway. Ziggler, like I said, Ziggler's kind of a whiny guy. Zayn's kind of a whiny guy. Nakamura, I don't get it. I mean, if you brought him out and had him wrestle against...
I would say he's a heel. Just with his persona. Yes, he's a heel.
Sasha heel? No, I wouldn't say
Brock
Sasha
is
heel.
an awesome heel that everyone
Sasha's
cheers
got to cut
for.
a lot.
Whoa, chaos. Brock is an awesome heel that everyone cheers for. I don't cheer for the guy. He's just a straight up heel, and I want him to leave.
Corbin has that go away heat. He literally wears heel creep. Brock's an awesome heel that everyone cheers for.
I just don't like the guy.
I
have no respect for the guy. That's the issue. He's never there. He doesn't care. And that's why I have no respect for him, and I don't like him.
Brock is kind of like Shane, where you just go, okay, he shows up. I don't like him just because he never shows up.
The crowd always pops for Brock. I suppose.
Well, they do, because he shows up once every 6 months, so they're like, whoa, he's back! Yes! Sasha heel, again, I don't think Sasha's much of a heel. She needs to cut way better promos to make me go, okay, she's a heel.
I would say that's what they're doing with her right now, though. She's a heel. Compared to other people in the division, she's a heel. Okay. The OC, yes, they're heels.
The OC, I mean,
Heels.
I would say they're more heels.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't know.
There was an AJ promo in there. I just want to talk about this real quick. Did anybody else see this? Because I swear, and it was, I thought it was funny. He was like, Kayla Braxton was like talking about how, oh yeah, you got to defend your title against Braun Strowman again. And he was like, this is bullshit. This is garbage.
Shane is maybe the best heel in WWE Fight Me.
I thought it was so funny. What is with AJ recently in the whole situation? He's like, oh, I'm going to swear, but no, I'm not going to swear.
Yeah.
He's done that a lot.
Yeah.
He's been like, mother lovers.
Yeah.
Throw the sign up, mother lovers. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, is this supposed to be funny stuff?
Yes, which is why it's tough to sit there and go, you're a heel.
Or what? What's happening, man? Shane is the best heel.
I think Shane is probably...
He's the baddest mother lover.
Shane is...
I don't know, man. It just makes me laugh when he does it, so I don't even know what they're doing with him.
Bullet Club for life.
It makes me laugh. I'm like, bro, you're so funny. I can't hate you because you're funny.
Shayna is probably the like, as far as the females go, probably, the one legitimate heel.
I'd say so.
I mean, Io.
I think
Io right now is kind of an
Ronda could have had potential if they let her be heel before. If they would have let her get on the mic and say whatever the heck she wanted to, it would have been even more sellable.
Yeah.
We would have believed it more. Sellable. Isn't even a word. More believable.
Yeah. So then we end the show with Braun versus AJ for the U.S. title.
It ends in a disqualification. After... the ends in a DQ, and Braun...
That's pretty good there, Shane.
It ends in DQ, and then it ends in a DQ after AJ grabs a chair, puts it in the ring. He's gonna hit Braun with the chair. He does hit Braun with the chair, but the ref is knocked out, right? And then after that, Braun was, stuff, and he got up, and the ref got up, and Braun was holding the chair, and AJ just, he was like, ugh, and the guy was like, I heard the chair shot, you did it, and he was like, I did not do it, AJ's lying, he just fell on the floor, and the guy was like, ring the bell, and then it ended in DQ, and OC was out there, because they came in, and he killed all of OC.
Yeah.
Hit him with chairs. Running power slam.
Io, is she
Sport
heel?
Io.
Or is it just...
Export.
Is it heel? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. They didn't have the...
Yeah.
They cut out the audio.
Is Io a heel, or is it just that, rebel type...
Rebel without a cause.
Attitude, and no matter who she fights, people are going to cheer for her.
Right now they were booing for her, but that just happens to be, I think, the situation. AJ pulled an Eddie Guerrero. Yeah. I think right now it's more so of, she's getting booed right now because she's fighting Candace. I think it'll just depend on who you put her against.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, and we got a full face of Dawson. Yeah, you missed that. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it, huh?
Roode, he did his glorious DDT or whatever it was, and he, grabbed his trunks and pulled them so much, it totally, went up his butt, and, then he was there, and it was could he have pulled those any tighter? For reals, man. Talk about a wedgie. I was jeez.
The hell out of this chair. Yeah, he did.
Where's Naomi?
Who are you talking?
Question.
I was talking about
I don't know.
Matt.
God bless her soul.
Where is Naomi? Naomi hasn't been around forever, and we've talked about her.
I want to see Naomi.
We were talking about that last week, trying to figure out where she's at.
I want to see Naomi.
I think she's with the Usos.
Probably. I mean, because that's the way Vince does things around here.
That's my guess, is she's hanging out with the Usos.
I don't get it.
Wherever they're at. Io is heel, but we love her.
Yeah, I love her. Yeah. I think the crowd right now, they've been booing her because of the situation that she's put in. She's against Candace. Candace is the super duper uber babyface. Io is the heel in this situation because she attacked Candace from behind with a chair. Candlesticks. The whole shebang. So in this situation, she's looked at as the heel. Put her in another storyline, she can be a face. And the crowd will cheer for her and boo for whoever she's against.
Well, that goes
Put her against Shayna, she's going to get cheered, and Shayna's going to get booed.
That goes back to kind of what I was saying, though.
Yeah?
There's a fine line between face and heel.
I feel like she was getting booed more, though.
Yeah.
Why can't they release her theme already? Good question. Then at tapings. I mean, yeah, I'm not denying that she was getting cheered, but I think she was getting booed more than she was getting cheered, just due to the situation that she's been put in.
I don't know. I think people like her whole, character change.
I do, too. I'm not saying people don't like it, but I'm saying when it first happened and the first couple of times that I've seen her on NXT TV and at TakeOver, she was getting booed.
Shayna should go to SmackDown and destroy Bayley. Yes. I agree.
I mean, I don't know who we're going to have face Bayley aside from Charlotte.
Yeah.
I know James talked about that earlier. Charlotte's the only one that makes sense to me at this point.
Yeah.
Because they don't have
I'm
anybody
just not
else.
buying Candace. She reminds me of Bayley.
As a face right now.
She reminds me of Bayley too much.
Yeah.
Like the peppy.
Well, that's your whole thing, though.
I think that will be it.
I think so.
We will be back tomorrow night. I'm gonna go get some sleep and try and get over this
Eye cold.
technique. This eye cold in my eyes.
Hopefully you'll wake up tomorrow and your eyes won't be like
Matted shut.
glued
Yeah.
shut together.
I agree. They made her too much of Johnny's wife. I agree. I think that
Murphy
kinda
versus
hurt her.
Ali tomorrow. I'm so excited. Murphy better win.
Should be a good match.
But then he's gonna next week get destroyed by Elias. I'm sorry, Export. He just is. Because I see Elias winning. You're still sticking with Corbin?
I'm still sticking with
Who's
Corbin.
everybody's final picks after tonight? Who would you say your final picks are for winning the whole thing? I understand we still have the last of the first round matches tomorrow.
Murphy should win. Elias sucks.
I agree, but I still think Elias is winning.
Ricochet.
Murphy should win. My pick. I'm still sticking with Elias.
I could see a Ricochet Cedric Alexander match.
But is Cedric going to get past Corbin?
No, well, I don't. He might. I mean, they'd have to wrestle in the semifinals, but I could see that match, and it would be a good match. Murphy's getting an accidental push out of this Roman thing. Yes, I agree. It's kind of like the Becky thing when she got an accidental push and like became your champion.
Shh, we don't speak of that. No, so we're gonna get Joe versus Ricochet next week. Cedric versus Corbin.
Yes, I know.
And then
I've
tomorrow,
got it in my cold's in my eyes, and like this, I fell asleep during Raw, and like my eyes were matted shut when I like woke up.
next tomorrow we're getting Ollie versus Murphy and Chad Gable versus Shelton Benjamin. Shorty G.
Final pick Murphy. Murphy versus Ricochet
You
in
know,
the finals.
I should say Shorty G should win, but I'm just not going to because I think it's going to be Elias.
All right, with that, I think we're gonna take off.
Whoa. Your final pick,
Huh?
Corbin?
I'm still going with Corbin.
Okay.
Well, WWE tried to force a Becky heel turn. Neither the fans or Becky were buying it. Yeah, I agree.
When the slap,
Yeah.
heard around the world.
Joe
Homie.
wouldn't be bad either.
I
I don't see him winning.
Everybody loved when she slapped Charlotte across the face. They were like, ah!
Yeah.
I was like,
All right, we're gonna take off. Reminder: we stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT, after every pay-per-view, and we have our prediction shows also. If you haven't subscribed to our channel,
winning crap.
yeah, Joe ain't winning crap. I agree. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell button so you know when we go live. We'll be back tomorrow. Matt's taking Buddy. A lot of Murphy you guys going here. I don't see it. Don't see it happening.
Elias. And I'm going to be the one that's right, and y'all are going to have to bow down to me.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
You're queen.
We will be back tomorrow night. Look forward to seeing you guys. You guys make this awesome. Thanks for stopping by, all of you. Tomorrow night SmackDown, Wednesday
NXT.
NXT.
This weekend we have. Okay, so are we doing a prediction show for Takeover?
Yeah, we might. We'll see. I don't know.
Takeover.
Might.
And then we have All Out.
Well, it was first Owens, then Drew.
He's just going down the list. He's
Yeah.
like, I'll be right sometime.
We're taking off. Elijah thanks. Chaos thanks. Matt thanks. James thanks. Shane.
Sport,
all you guys. Everybody was in here
Shane,
tonight.
Scott,
Yes, everybody was in tonight. Thanks for stopping by. We are out of here. We will see you tomorrow.
Peace
Peace
out.
out.